Alright, what's happening? Back already. I filmed and edited the last update last night, but woke up today and it was actually light enough outside for me to film one of these vinyl collection videos. So you can see I have some shit missing from there, and we're gonna do it. First up here is what we're listening to. Arisminda, Beneath This Reality of Flesh. Yeah man, awesome. We'll be talking about Arisminda in the next vinyl collection video. And we have an awful lot to go through in this video. Maybe even more than I can get through, but we'll see. First up, we have Evangelist with Enthralled to the Void of Bliss. I don't think I've ever actually shown this in like an update before, but I've had it for a couple, at least 2.5 years or so. It's just not really my thing, I guess. I think maybe it's just a bit too avant-garde and experimental, and that's totally not my thing. Basically, this thing is just full of like weird sound effects and like chants. And on the song Alchemy, there's like almost just like, it's not even really music, it's just like a beat, and there's like this spoken word over it and all sorts of weird sound effects. It's more like growled vocals and shit like that. I don't know, you really gotta be into the sort of experimental, progressive, avant-garde style of black metal to enjoy something like this. And I do enjoy it when I'm in the mood for it, but problem is I'm never in the mood for it. Anyway, front cover right there, very simple. There's a back cover right there. I don't know what all that shit is, just scribbled words. This comes with a sticker of the band logo, as well as a download code. So if any of you guys want to hear this for yourself, there you go. Got your inner sheet here with just some credits, shit like that. There's the other side, I've got no idea. And the vinyl itself is really cool, gold, black splatter. I don't have any other records like this. You can actually get this for like $9 on Discogs, this version. So yeah man, if you're into it, fucking buy it, very cool. Here's what I know a lot of you guys will know. This is Agalloch with the Mantle. This is the only Agalloch record that I own. I know there's a bunch of other ones, and I have the Serpent and the Sphere, the CD for it. But as for Agalloch, man, this is pretty much it. This is all I really heard that I absolutely love. And I think that this is widely regarded Agalloch's best album for a reason. Super mellow, very atmospheric. I think this is their second album, but I'm not sure. I really don't know anything about Agalloch. I don't really know much about this press either. I know that I think that it's a bootleg, but I'm not sure. Anyway, front cover there, you show a fucking deer. There's the back right there. Growl, which is why I think it's a bootleg. But even if it is a bootleg, it's really fucking nice. Yeah, picture of these dorky ass band members. So it's come with a poster, which I would like a lot more if there was actually like a logo or something on there. And you do get two printed inner sleeves with the lyrics. And this is clear vinyl. Very fucking nice. Not exactly crystal clear, but clear enough. And the labels are cool, but I'm not gonna bother showing all of them. Alright, next up, this record made some big waves back in 2015. Achilles with the Dreaming Eye. So this is the second Achilles record, and I know the debut album is called Supplication, and that's not my thing at all. That's like strictly dark ambient. From what I remember, this is at least one of the guys from the band Nightbringer, which I'm not really a fan of. I like this though, because this is very dark. It's very like almost like haunting in a sense. And I think that this was the second press of this. And this thing is in pretty much continued press now. You can get this really easily. And there's even like cool versions of it now and stuff. But there's the front cover, very fucking cool. There's the back right there. Have a really nice inner sheet here with a cool picture, and I think this was the difference between the first and the second press. I think this is like a fold out thing on the first press. Just black vinyl, not really interesting labels, no reason to show you that. And I don't think I've used this, so if anybody wants to hear it, or if you just like the album and never got to buy the CD or something, there you go. Real dark, scary black metal, Achilles, Dreaming Eye. Alright, next up, Canadian black metal. This is a Kitsa with Grand's Tyrants. So I think this album came out in 2015, and I haven't played this in a while, but from what I remember this album is kind of all over the fucking place. I remember that the songs on here are good, but I think if they were rearranged, the album would flow better, and the album, as a result, would be tremendously better than it is. Because when every song is drastically different from the song before it, it is a little bit distracting. But yeah, this band has a lot of shit. I think this is like the 4th or 5th album. Maybe even the 6th album, I'm not sure. But I know this band's got a lot of shit, and this is the only thing I own. But I'm gonna put this on again today, just see if I've changed my opinion on it. But really nice cover. I like the foil right there. There's the back with more foil. Really cool on the inside of the jacket. It's like printed like smoke or trees or some shit. I can't really tell. There's the lyrics right there. Lyrics are in French, so you know, no good for me. So there's the guy in the band hanging out with Jesus in the snow. It is just black vinyl, but the inside of the printed inner sleeve also has like trees. Very cool. Maybe you'll like this, maybe you'll be on the fence about it like I am. I don't know. Akitsa, Grants Tyrants. Okay, so shit like this is exactly why I wanted to redo this series. This is Alcoa with Bone and Marrow. If you guys remember, and most of you probably won't, I have a Defeater record, and I bought that Defeater record for the 4 acoustic song EP that it came with, and this is the vocalist of Defeater's side project, and this is basically an entire album of those more acoustic type songs. I think I bought this in like maybe 2013, and I've maybe listened to it a couple times, but when I pulled it out for this video, I put it on, and man, this is so much better than I remember it being. I'm actually in love with this. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with the 4-song like acoustic EP I'm talking about that Defeater did. If not, man, if you like stuff like that, this is just so fucking good. Anyway, front cover, I like this style of like old traditional, almost like tattoo artwork. There's the back right there. Weird fucking gatefold with a bunch of knobs on the inside. This does come with all the lyrics and a picture of like a pew. And the record itself is this really cool, like green, weird, marbly, translucent. Yeah. If you have any interest in like singer-songwriter, more acoustic music that kind of is a bit sad in theme, this thing is like $6 on Discogs, so you really can't, I mean, even if you think that sounds sort of interesting, it's worth the blind buy. So Alcoa, Bone and Marrow. Next up, we got some Icelandic black metal. This is Almirk V with Pupil of the Searing Maelstrom. So this is the only thing this project has done so far, and I think this came out 2016, and the guitarist, I think it was, the guitarist of Sin Mara is the one and only member behind Almirk V. Now this is a bit different from Sin Mara and really all of the Icelandic black metal stuff, in the sense that this is more like epic and doomy black metal. This is another one I haven't listened to in a while. I gotta put this on again. Anyway, there's the front cover right there. I don't know if you can see, but it's like textured. You can like feel it and it feels weird. There's the back cover right there. Van Records, track listing. You got a picture of the man himself on one side of the inner sleeve and that on the other. And it is just black vinyl. I think this also came on like blue splatter vinyl or something like that, but I just took what I could get. So certainly not the best record in my collection, but good for when I'm in the mood for doomy black metal. So Almirk V, Pupil of the Searing Maelstrom. So I'm not even going to talk about these. I have 2 of them. Both of them I've gotten for free. Fucking Shadow Kingdom Records sucks ass. Everything they've put out, man, I hate this style of music. So fuck these things. Alright, next up. This is AMSG with Anti-Cosmic Tyranny. So I think this is the first full-length album that came out in like 2012 or 13 or something like that. And this was the first thing I ever heard from AMSG. They did have releases previous to this, I think. I've had this for probably 4 years now, back in 2014, and I love this thing, man. This thing is, it's very different from a lot of other black metal that you hear, in the sense that it does utilize stuff like the saxophone and stuff like that. It's really, really weird, but incredibly hateful nonetheless. And with this, you do get like an outer sleeve that the jacket comes in. Of course, I keep them separated anyways, because this right here is the actual artwork for the record. Very fucking cool. And there's the back for that. This does come with a big like booklet that's got some cool pictures and shit on the inside. You got your lyrics, shit like that. The vinyl itself is really nice, like this red with black splatter. I think this was like 333 copies from what I remember that came with the red splatter vinyl. But 100 of the 333 copies came with this big fucking flag, which looks like this. So 2 years after Anti-Cosmic Tyranny came out, in 2015, we got an EP from AMSG. And it was this one, The Forbidden Transformation. And I was floored when I heard this was happening. I was excited. I mean, it was the first time AMSG had been releasing something new since I became a fan of the project. And from what I remember, this was the last recording with the drummer of the band, who I believe killed himself in like 2014 or 15 or something. What I remember about this is that the music on it is really good. but there's a lot of samples and they're really long, almost too long, which is the only shortcoming this album, or EP rather, has. But there's the front cover right there, real weird like goat head thing. There's the back right there. Very cool. This actually includes a little CD of the EP. Comes with a big fucking poster, and I'm not even sure which way this goes. But on the back you have all the lyrics. I've said it before, I hate when fucking labels put shit on the backs of posters. And the vinyl itself is just black. Labels are uninteresting. I think this was 300 copies. So the year after we got the Forbidden Transformation, we got another full-length album from AMSG. An album by the name Hostess University Generis. And again, this was another step up for AMSG. This was a little bit closer to what we heard on Anti-Cosmic Tyranny. There are still like samples on this thing, but they're certainly not as long. The music is more the focus, but you still have the saxophones and the weird elements that make AMSG so unique. This one's also got the best song titles in my opinion. Baptized in the Blood of Galaxies, Astral Projections of Lucifer, Broken Chains of Cursed Flesh. I love it, man. There's the front cover right there, obviously done by Rest of Leviathan. There's the back, very simple. Gatefold's really fucking cool. You got the pictures of the band members and like framed in the stars. You have 2 printed inner sleeves with all the lyrics, and the version I got was the limited to 100 green and red or purple swirl, which is a strange combination, but I don't have any other records that look like this, so. And the following year, again, we got another release involving AMSG, this time in the form of a split. This is the split with Hostium, Spolder, Arrogance, and AMSG. And I said it when I talked about this in an update, it's always cool to get a split where you're familiar with more than just one of the bands. And in the case of this one, I was familiar with both Hostium and Spolder as well as AMSG. Hostium put out an album in like 2016, I think it was called The Blood Wine of Satan, and a lot of people were a lot bigger on that album than I was. But Spolder is pretty much unbeatable. Just fucking bulletproof riffs, man. Arrogance is very short, fast. I don't even want to, it's not black metal, I don't really know what to call it, but it's really fucking cool, I like it a lot. And of course AMSG, perfect. This was 300 copies, put out in darker than black. They do a lot of shit in quantities of 300. And the inner sheet here is very cool. You just got lyrics for most everything and just some religious symbols with the bash around them. So this was only put out last year, but AMSG has been quiet since then, so fingers crossed for new releases always. Yeah, awesome. Okay, so next we have a band that I think is from England, and this is the one and only release I have from these guys. This is Annul Nathrak with Eschaton. So this is somewhere in the middle of their discography. It came out sometime in the mid-2000s, and I don't know shit about these guys. This only scratches a very specific itch that I get very seldomly. But when I want something like this, this is perfect for it. Yeah, I don't listen to this all the time. I like some of what's on here. Obviously, Between Shit and Piss We Are Born is kind of Annul Nathrak's biggest song, I would say, and that's actually why I bought this record specifically. But some of the other things on here, what I don't like is the like clean vocals that they put in some of like the choruses. They sound like weirdly out of place, like almost heavy metal clean vocals, and I don't know, it just kind of sort of disrupts the flow for me. But the harsh vocals on here are like notably fucking feral, and I wish there was more of just that. Even though there is a clean chorus on Between Shit and Piss We Are Born, it's not so over the top like traditional heavy metal style, and it just works for me. But also the last song on here has guest vocals from Attila from Mayhem. But yeah, there's the front cover, fucking hideous. There's the back cover right there, fucking hideous. Back on black, fucking hideous. There's the inside, no lyrics or anything. I don't think this band really ever puts lyrics with their shit though, from what I understand. Fucking hideous. This does come on clear vinyl, but it's not really like see-through clear. It's kind of just like foggy, hazy clear. And for anybody who might be curious, this goes for super cheap on Discogs, like less than $15 cheap. So yeah, get it. All right, finished black metal. This is Ancestors' Blood with Return of the Ancient Ones. I don't consider pagan black metal a real genre, but it does sort of give an idea of what this sounds like. So yeah, this is pagan black metal. But the reason that this is so cool is like the vocals on this thing are like debut Burzum album vocals, and that's sort of what the initial draw for me was. There's the front cover right there, sort of something you would see on like a pagan black metal album. There's the back right there, band logo in runes, of course, Purity Through Fire. So I'm not sure, either this was the first press of this or this wasn't put on vinyl until 2014. But it does have a lyric sheet here, 300 copies. I have number 288, and you do have all the lyrics on the back, which are in English. And this project's put out a couple things, a couple full-length albums since this, but I don't have any of them. I'd like to get some of them because I'm sure they can't be bad. I mean, this thing is fucking great. So if you guys aren't familiar with Ancestors Blood, check it out, man. Return of the Ancient Ones.
Can you see me walk in?
No.
Okay, because I wasn't wearing pants.
And as I figured, I did bite off more than I could chew. I had like 20 more records pulled out for this video, all from one band, but I'll just start the next one with that because this video's already gone on long enough. Last thing I want to talk about here is Aptorian Demon with Libertas. I think that this is this band's only release so far. I haven't looked in a while, but this specific release is great, man. There's great riffs on this thing. It is a bit more riffy than some of the other Trondheim black metal bands. And it's got a really cool album cover. Dig it. There's the back right there. You got some fucking antlers and a skull with the band logo. Comes with this little red sheet. I assume these are lyrics, but there's only lyrics for one song if that's the case, and I've never actually sat down and read along with it, so I couldn't tell you for sure. Comes with this little poster, which I would probably like a little bit more if it had like the logo or something on it, but it's cool regardless. And very unfittingly, it comes on this weird like purple gray swirl. Yeah, very unfitting for the album cover. So, fantastic Norwegian black metal, and I think a good way to end this video as well. So, Aptorian Demon with Libertas. That's it. Fuck. Yeah, I can't believe I had all that shit pulled out and I thought I was going to get through it in one video. But we're just going to have to start the next video with a big block of records from a single band, and I think you guys will dig it. You guys will probably figure out what it is. But either way, look forward to it because they got some cool shit in there too. So yeah, thanks for sticking around, and we'll be back real soon. So to them, later.